Coming up in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers begin rehearsals for the upcoming Buddha Day ceremony. And we find out about the ever-growing problem of debris washing ashore Matsu Islands in Taiwan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. We start today's program in the Philippines. Once again, it's nearing the annual Tzu Chi Buddha Day ceremony. To prepare for the solemn occasion, which comes in May, Tzu Chi volunteers have begun rehearsals for the ceremony at both the Jingsi Hall and in Dreamland Village in Cavite Province. To prepare for Tzu Chi's Buddha Day ceremony held on the second Sunday in May, Tzu Chi volunteers and participants in the Philippines are making sure they know their parts well.
My daughter has leukemia. If it wasn't for the help at Tzu Chi, she wouldn't be as healthy as she is now. I'm very thankful to Tzu Chi.
In my mind, the Buddha's teachings and Jesus' ideals are the same. The only difference is that my God's name is different.
Though the Philippines is a Catholic country, each year Tzu Chi volunteers in the country will nevertheless hold a large-scale celebration to honor the Buddha.
At this year's Buddha Day ceremony, we hope more local volunteers will come forth to take on different responsibilities. And later, we hope the local volunteers can conduct these events on their own.
Looking to fulfill these expectations, local volunteers rehearse diligently. Among them are scholarship students from Dreamland Village in Cavite Province.
I'm very thankful Tzu Chi has come to help us improve our lives. If Tzu Chi wasn't around, I would not be able to attend college like I do now. Participating in this event, which falls on both Mother's Day and Buddha's Day, is a way for me to honor both my mother and Tzu Chi.
When I was participating in the rehearsals, I felt as if my heart was cleansed. When my hands touched the water, my heart's impurities were washed away. When I picked up the flower, it was as if I gained new hope for life.
The Buddha Day ceremony not only helps to purify the spirit, but also unites the hearts of these residents in praying for a disaster-free Philippines. Tzu Chi Malacca chapter will be presenting the musical adaptation of the Water Repentance Sutra in July. To provide the on-stage volunteers with a comfortable practice site, one Tzu Chi volunteer built a stage and installed an air conditioner in his factory. Such efforts will help ensure the volunteers can practice more effectively.
To help prepare on-stage volunteers for the upcoming musical adaptation, Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Dexiang built a practice stage in his automation equipment factory. Besides building a two-story stage 20 meters wide, Chen Dexiang also installed plumbing and electrical systems, in addition to air conditioner, to make sure the volunteers will be practicing in a comfortable environment.
I thought they could practice in my factory if it is suitable. Then I made measurements and the space is ideal.
The lights and electric wires are very old, so he replaced them for us.
With the stage, the on-stage volunteers can now practice walking and changing of formation.
When I practiced at the Tzu Chi office, it was hard to know where I should stand or walk to. With the stage, I can start to memorize my position. We are getting used to standing and walking on a stage.
With their new comfortable practice site, the on-stage volunteers will be better prepared to present the musical adaptation in July.
Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang, Malaysia recently welcomed 5 nursing interns from Tzu Chi College of Technology from Taiwan. During their stay, the nursing students visited dialysis patients to understand how they can better serve patients in the future. In the meantime, the dialysis center staff also worked with the Tzu Chi volunteers to promote kidney health awareness to residents in Phuket, Mertajan.
To promote kidney health awareness, the staff of Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang and Tzu Chi volunteers invited residents of Bukit Mertajam to take part in a free screening.
在预防肾脏病这一块呢，
We held our first health checkup in Bukit Mertajam to raise kidney health awareness. We will offer a series of checkups to the public from March till May.
Tzu Chi and Tima volunteers offered a simple health checkup in the community. There, they promoted vegetarian diets and offered blood pressure and blood sugar tests.
Many people don't know they have high blood pressure until they get a checkup. Many people also neglect their high cholesterol level. If they don't take preventative measures, they could develop kidney disease.
The check also very good.
The checkup is very good. At least now I know whether my illness is serious.
This is good also because some of the old people, they cannot go outside. I mean, go to a hospital or check. So you all do this is good for old people. Even they cannot walk, also they can come and check their own OR.
More than 300 community residents took part in the simple checkup. Not only did they learn more about kidney health, they also felt the care and warmth provided by the medical team.
就是病人一进来，我们一定会跟他们讲说，如果电话号码有换，联络人电话号码有换，一定要告诉我们。
Back in the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang, 5 nursing students from Taiwan were jotting down notes as they mindfully listened to the nurse. Besides listening to the patients at the dialysis center, they prepared gifts and joined Tzu Chi volunteers on their visit to patients at home. They talk like old friends do.
There are mice here, so I hang my belongings up high.
The nursing students presented their gift to the grandma, hoping to cheer her.
After spending the afternoon with the grandmother, I realized we are very fortunate. I should help more needy people with my knowledge.
These future nurses gain practical knowledge and will be using the experience to care for more patients with love.
TIMA members in Taipei City's Department of Labor came together to hold a free clinic at the Taipei main station on behalf of Taiwan's foreign caregivers and laborers. The free clinic, which has been running for 10 years now, has become an important event in the lives of Taiwan's overseas community. Thus, it is not surprising that at every event, more and more are deciding to volunteer as a way to give back.
TIMA and Taipei City's Department of Labor have been coming together on behalf of the area's foreign laborers for more than 10 years now. As word of mouth of this event has gotten around, a local employment agency now came to volunteer their time.
They are in a foreign land and many are homesick. So when they have a chance to taste food from their country, they are so grateful.
Volunteers within the foreign community were also present to help with translation needs.
I help my countrymen get their medical problems taken care of by Tzu Chi, as they have a hard time taking care of it by themselves.
With volunteers by their side every step of the way, patients quickly and easily find answers to their medical problems.
I have some spots in my vision, so the doctor gave me some medicine for my eyes. I am 40 years old, so perhaps it is because my eyes are getting old.
Despite being in a foreign land, these overseas workers have found a new home and loving friends in the face of Tzu Chi.
Last year, 5-year-old Liu Xinni of Taichung, Taiwan, became paralyzed after a stroke. After further examinations, the doctors discovered that the girl suffers from Dego's disease. Unfortunately, as the treatment of the illness is not covered by the National Health Insurance, the family had to sell their house to cover the medical bills. Thus, the Tzu Chi Foundation decided to reach out with a helping hand.
This is 5-year-old Liu Xinni, who relies on a nasal gastric tube for feeding. Due to multiple ischemic strokes, Liu has lost the ability to move and swallow.
1 or 2 days before Xinni went into a coma, she couldn't speak properly at all. Later, she even lost strength in her limbs.
Dago disease is a rare vasculopathy that affects the veins and arteries, resulting in the blockage of the vessel. In several cases, the illness can lead to stroke and even death. Without a cure, currently patients with the condition can only rely on anticoagulant to treat the symptoms. Furthermore, as the disease is not covered by Taiwan's national health insurance, the Liu family was forced to sell their home to pay for Xinni's medical fees.
When we received this family's plight 3 days following the incident, we decided to give this child some assistance. Xinni's father was extremely happy when he heard the news.
I felt a sudden rush of relief when volunteers of the Tzu Chi Foundation told me that the organization is willing to provide us with financial assistance.
Tzu Chi offers the family nearly $13,000 to make sure Xinni can receive much-needed medical care. The Xiecheng bar head Lu Shun'an hopes the rare disease can be covered by the national health insurance in the future.
I hope Xinni's case can draw the public's attention and help those with rare disease receive much-needed assistance from society in the future.
Currently, Xinni has regained some movement in her hands and feet and is learning how to swallow again. It is hoped the love from everyone can help Xinni recover from her illness as soon as possible.
The Matsu Islands of Taiwan are made up of 36 small islands and are ranked as the world's 5th must-see islands. However, the archipelago is also haunted by marine debris coming from China. We now take you there to witness this growing problem.
Can you believe it? I'm standing on a pile of marine debris the size of a small hill. This is the embankment of Matsu's Qinshui village.
Behind the protection of the embankment is the 12-hectare Qinshui wetlands, a national preserve. But instead of seeing migratory birds and fiddler crabs, one sees piles of garbage from the sea.
During typhoon season, even with the protection of the embankment, most of marine debris still makes its way into the wetlands, affecting the organisms living there.
Every winter, marine debris from China is carried by northeast seasonal winds and ocean currents to the north side of Matsu's 36 islands. Take Nangan Island, for example. During winter and spring, the shores on the north side of the island, including Qinshui wetlands and Niujiao Beach, all take on trash. During this period, areas on the south side of the island, like Ren'ai Village Beach, which faces away from the seasonal winds, will not see a lot of trash.
Pristine sands as far as the eyes can see, this is the beach of Matsu's Ren'ai Village. There isn't a lot of trash here yet, because the wind and current don't come this way. However, when the wind and current change between May and October, tons of marine debris will come this way. By April and May, when winds come up from the south, there will be a lot of trash here.
By summer, the southern side of Matsu will be taking on wind and therefore a lot of marine debris, while the northeastern shores will see a decrease in trash, and thus marine debris goes around and around. The archipelago cleans out over 800 tons of marine debris a year. 1/3 is styrofoam, 1/3 is wood and bamboo items, and the rest is various common trash items.
There are 2 high tides in a day, so though we may have just finished cleaning, when the next high tide comes, more debris will be brought in.
The local government is out of solutions, while local fishermen complain that the debris has affected their fishery, polluted the sea, and even damaged their boats.
Typically, plastic ropes and bags will get caught up in the propeller of the motor. Once that happens, the motor will shut down. 20% of Matsu shorelines are sandy beaches, but the other 80% are rocks and reefs. Due to the steep terrain, debris that washes up in these areas cannot be removed and will remain a part of the landscape. Without current manpower, we are already having a hard time coping with the trash on the beach. For those caught in the rocky shores, there is just nothing we can do. The trash will just sit there and continue to accumulate until perhaps a typhoon comes, and then you will be washed away.
The local government tries to intercept the debris by setting up a wall of nets in the sea. However, several months later, rough seas totally destroy the plan. To contain the problem of marine debris takes more than setting up barriers or investing in cleanup efforts. Only by tackling the problem at the source can residents living near coastlines be free from the nightmare of endless trash. In Hualien County, Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to promote the drinking of tea instead of alcohol in various indigenous communities. On their most recent trip, volunteers visited the Matsui Islands community of Wanrong Township.
Prior to the event, Tzu Chi volunteers offer residents free blood pressure checks. At first, many residents questioned the volunteers' purpose of holding the event. However, their doubts were put to rest upon learning more about the charity organization.
Most of the residents here are either Christian or Catholic. After learning about the campaign, many realized that the Tzu Chi volunteers are not here to preach Buddhism.
By using a PowerPoint presentation, a volunteer explains to participants how alcohol was used by indigenous people as a sacred item in ceremonies. The volunteers also remind residents how excessive alcohol consumption can have a negative impact on the body.
In the old days, people didn't drink that much. Nowadays, many people have gout because they consume too much alcohol. I stopped drinking when I discovered that I have hepatitis C.
This is the first time the Tzu Chi Foundation organizing an event to encourage locals to replace alcohol with tea at the Matsui Islands community. Seeing the transformation of other communities and his own health, the elder of the Mingli Church decided to promote Tzu Chi's event in his community.
Drinking tea has changed my health for the better. I'm so happy that the volunteers organized such a meaningful event in our community, and I hope they can come back more often. I believe events like this can inspire our residents to stay away from alcohol.
At the end of the event, volunteers present participants with a box of tea and a reusable cup to further encourage them to take the initiative to quit drinking. In the future, Tzu Chi volunteers will also invite seniors to dine together as a way to strengthen community bonds.
Next, we traveled to Kaohsiung, where while shopping at a supermarket, a senior stumbled across nearly $5,000 in cash. Knowing that the money's rightful owner must be extremely worried, the honest senior turned the cash into the nearby police station, where it was later safely returned to the owner.
As soon as she gets off from her motorcycle, Matsu Islands quickly walks into the police station to inform the officers that she lost nearly $5,000 in cash. Minutes later, a senior arrived at the station with her daughter-in-law and the borough head.
Grandma Yu arrived at the police station along with the borough head after the owner of the missing cash walked out of the station. The grandma then told us that she had found approximately $5,000.
Grandma Yu discovered the missing money at a local supermarket and waited for its owner under the scorching sun for more than 30 minutes. Afraid of going to the police station, the senior sought help from the borough head.
She told me that she has never been to a police station, so she was afraid. The senior is not well off, but she's not greedy either. The senior quickly brought the money to us because she felt that the owner must be extremely worried.
Despite living in hardship herself, Grandma Yu still insisted returning the money to its rightful owner without asking for any reward. Upon receiving the good news, Miss Su and her daughter arrived at the station to thank the senior for her kind deed.
Tzu Chi Melbourne Liaison Office once again held its annual Tzu Chi Youth Camp. The 3-day camp was a time for participants to learn and have fun, but also to reflect on their lives and what truly makes them worthwhile.
Here at the 2015 Tzu Chi Youth Camp held in Melbourne, participants take part in a wide range of games and trust-building activities. The goal is to teach them how to be healthy in their body, minds, and character. One first-time participant had no other goals except to have fun over the 3 days. However, she ended up learning much more than she expected.
It was not only about having fun, we also learned some very important principles that have helped us understand ourselves better.
The participants also headed outdoors to clean up their neighborhood and discussed the importance of recycling batteries with members of their communities.
Before, I was much more self-centered. I hope to learn how to be more grateful and also how to express this heart of gratefulness.
By the end of the camp, all participants learned how to be grateful for the world and those in it, as well as how to cultivate true meaning in their lives and the lives of others.
The 16th Jingxi Aphorisms Instruction Seminar for teachers in northern Taiwan started at the Tzu Chi office in Taipei's Shonshan district. There are 16 lessons in the 4-day seminar, which will help teachers better pass on the wisdom within Jingxi Aphorisms to their students.
The 16th Jingxi Aphorisms Instruction Seminar is being held at the Tzu Chi office in Taipei's Songshan district.
We have divided up the 16 classes into 4 sessions, and every session will last the whole day. Only by doing so can we help these teachers fully comprehend the essence and techniques of teaching Jingxi aphorisms and where to find resources.
All students can be taught as long as teachers can find the proper method to reach them, as thus Kuang Xiaoman came up with her own screenplay.
Teachers teach through speaking, but words cut more than swords, so we should properly use our mouth.
Zheng Chonghui, who had participated several times, gains new insights even in old lessons.
When you participate in the program with a different mindset, you will learn different things. So when I deal with my students, I can better adjust myself.
Teaching is an art. Through the seminar, these teachers hope to strengthen themselves so they can help their students learn happily.
Staying in Taiwan, volunteers from the Tzu Chi recycling station located in Tuchen's Puding hits the streets to clean up a nature walkway where butterflies frequently flutter. The strip outside of the recycling station to clean also helped to purify the volunteers' own spirit. We will leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.